I like this one.
I was just saying to our producer, I call, and by the way, good morning to all of our team that help put the show together every morning. Not just our producer, Derek Ekorsan, who continues this flow. I think it was hard. You know, he had this hunger in his work. It kind of went away for a while. He became, the boss for a bit.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I think he's taking that underdog feeling again.
But what's the whole glass cup thing about? I've seen a couple of his new videos where either he's
holding a glass
or a cup or something like that.
I think it's a metaphor.
What level is that?
I think he's trying to say that, look, what is work for you is relaxation for me, is play for me. So I think it's just a way of showing the difference between how easy it is for him, and how other people stay up all night trying to come up with a song, and he does it while he's sipping his drink. I think it's a cool way of distinguishing himself.
In saying that this started when he gave that piece of advice to Shatta Wale?
That was the first.
Actually, I think I saw that in that clip that he released.
I think I saw it first in that clip he did for his wife's birthday, where he was dancing to a Lumba song, holding a glass of champagne. The next time I saw it was in the advice clip. So yeah, I think he's been on that for a while. He recently got up and picked up an award.
And he went with the glass. Yes, that's the king.
I know, right? So no, I certainly don't think he's trying to promote alcoholism or anything like that. But I think he's just trying to say, you know what, I'm doing this while relaxed.
Well, we like him relaxed, actually.
We do.
I think I like all rappers relaxed. When you take your mind to the commercial bit, I think you don't do very good music.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. You need to be you, don't you? Because rap is about truth. We're
Yeah.
talking a lot about this, but it's a cultural conversation, isn't it? The hip hop came from this whole idea of poetry of my life. I want to tell you what's happening in my life. So in the beginning, rap, Naughty by Nature, and Africa Bata, all these people were rapping about where they live, what their ghetto is like, and so forth. And then they started making money. So they started rapping about being rich. Jay-Z and all those came along and were talking about, the gold chains on their neck and all. So it's always about what's happening in your life.
One of my, can I say all time, but he's absolutely inspiring. I think sometimes it surprises me that I really, really like him is Eminem.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not afraid to kind of like drop it every morning when I'm coming to work. I listen to that piece of music. Yeah,
M is great.
Okay, let's
all right, shall we? Go back to the newspapers from hip hop to. I've got 4 as well. I've got the Statesman, the Daily Guide, the Daily Graphic, and the Daily Dispatch. 4 dailies.
All right, let's start off the Finder newspaper front page of the Finder. E-visa starts in 2020 to boost Ghana's tourism sector, according to the Vice President. Licensed cocoa buying companies sue GRA Cocoa Board over VAT. That's interesting. ADB to partner POSCO International to establish oil palm refinery. And Bank of Ghana keeps policy rate at 16%, 5th time running. To the Ghanaian Times, front page, ADB to partner POSCO. That story is also in the Times today. On the front page, the headline is there. Majority, minority remain divided over December 7 referendum. There's a lot of consultation going on, a lot of calls for a suspension, a lot of calls for an intensified education before December 17. What is the way forward? What decision has been made? We'll have a conversation on that. We have a deputy local government minister joining us in the studio right after sports for us to have that conversation. Government completes recruitment of 120 nurses for Barbados. Like joke, like play, we're actually exporting. That story is in page 16 in the Ghanaian Times newspaper. It says the Ministry of Health has completed the recruitment processes to send the first batch of 120 qualified nurses to work in the Caribbean nation of Barbados. The qualified nurses are currently undergoing medical checks and are expected to leave the country early January 2020 to address the acute shortage of skilled caregivers in medical facilities in that nation. 13 LBCs drag GRA Cocoa Board to court over proposed VAT charges on tracking and haulage. And robbers kill 45-year-old trader. 45-year-old trader is reported dead after he was allegedly robbed of unspecified amount of money and shot by robbers in Qatar in the Wa East district of the Upwest region on Sunday. That's very tragic there. On the back page, expect to brainstorm on how to reduce public health epidemics in Africa. And the Ministry of Trade and Industry to propel Ghana's industrial transformation next year. A lot of English. The Vanguard, time up for fuel pirates. NPA gets nod to prosecute smugglers. Ekufuado to grant 200 diasporan citizens. Volta youth chase Togbi Apade. These are the headlines in the Vanguard. The custodian Adonko Bitters boss honored. NAFCO campaigns for local rice consumption. No votes campaign. NDC shoots itself in the foot. NDC hands Osafo Mafo over Domolovo. That's the banner headline. The Custodian newspaper.
Okay. Now, you know, okay, let me read my headlines now. I'll come and talk about something you mentioned earlier. Sure. So I've got the Daily Statesman. We'll start there. Banner headline this morning, two-faced Asidun Ketia exposed. NDC General Secretary endorsed yes for referendum at recent IPAC meeting. I guess that's what they're referring to as exposure. I don't know why politicians do this, you know. So is it, I don't understand. Why are we still being reminded that the NDC has changed their minds? We were all here. We heard them in Parliament when they wanted a yes. Now they want a no. Why is the government continuously reminding us that they've changed their minds? Is it a crime to change one's mind? I don't quite get what the accusation is. You know, if you feel one way and then you get information and you decide you feel another way, does that make you two-faced? So when the NPP were campaigning...
Political game, isn't it?
I know, right? They all do it, by the way. It's not just the NPP. So when the NPP were campaigning and they said, when we come, we'll pay DKM victims. And then they came in and then Men's Gold victims also appeared from nowhere and they said, we won't pay them. Does that make them two-faced? Or when they wanted to abolish the, you know, the law that prohibits foreigners from doing retail in Ghana, and then they changed their mind. Now they are not talking about wanting to abolish it. Does that make them two-faced? If you change your mind, you change your mind. In fact, more politicians should change their minds. It will show that they are thinking. All right, tourism must be high on our development agenda, says Baumia. That's also on the front page. Bank of Ghana maintains policy rate at 16%. That's on page 6. Let's put that there. 500,000 Ghana cedis in a bag.
That's like Ghana must be
yeah. 500 grand in a bag. You know, I want
Would
to...
it be like a one bag full, like...
I wonder how big the bag would have to be.
I haven't seen 500,000.
Yeah, it would have to be quite a big bag. I mean,
yeah.
5,000 cedis is one bundle, right? So 100,000 cedis would be 20 of those bundles. You know, that's a lot. 20 bundles.
Okay.
All right, and 5 times that.
I need one.
She carried it. You know, I want to learn more about all of these. Sorry,
sure.
I was
go ahead. I was just saying that isn't that an allegation?
Well, it's a witness saying it in court. So yes, this is. I mean, unless the verdict will tell us whether this is the truth or not. But I want to learn more of the details of the accusations made against the previous government. You know, because some of them. I mean, we were only hearing the speculation and the rumor when this government was in opposition. Now that they are actually prosecuting, I want to learn the details. What did the Attorney General discover? What are some of the things?
Should go to courts.
Yeah.
Go and sit
I'd love to go and spend some time. Yeah.
Yes.
I want to go and learn some of the details because, Charlie, it looks like things happen.
Because before the judgment will come, I mean, it would take a while after the case. But if you're in court, then you get
it as it comes.
And yeah.
Somewhere.
Shall I need some of this money?
All right, let's. The Vice President speaking, and he was meeting a number of people, including Barbara Otinjisi. 528 million Ghana cedis to tackle flooding. That's been announced recently. Let's hope that it's put into the right areas to properly. Anyway, but again, it's a private company, so
but I want to be a CEO.
You want to be a bank CEO?
Or maybe one of the statutory corporations, Charlie.
Yeah.
I hear the money is good, man. Yeah.
The men's bank CEO wasn't doing bad until he was.
Money is good.
They turned it into men's gold.
When you end up in one of those organizations, just make up your mind you're working for like 2 years.
Just gathering the cash. 2 years wouldn't be enough for me though.
Yeah, then you move on to another one.
To another one.
Yes. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. All right. Halt incursion of fishermen into offshore safety zone. This is the oil and gas people talking. Petroleum Commission making that.
Because it was going to benefit a particular company.
Right.
But this was taken. You remember the whole conversation about they went to Dubai and they went to set this thing up. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Check this out, Mama V. Be satisfied with your wife's Bobby stand or Bobby sleep. Particular, I mean, other things perhaps, but boobs, if they are there, fine.
If they're not as big,
I'll live as long as, you know, the other things I like about it.
Okay.
All right, then, let's move on to the back page of the dispatch.
Sticky or something like that? Yeah, let's do the newspaper.
All right, back page of the dispatch. And presidents have become victims of nepotism. That's Otumfuo. And you'll be judged on the economy, not free SHS. Again, that's the Otumfuo speaking to government. Now, where's that story you mentioned earlier?
Which one is that?
Government completes recruitment of 120 nurses for Barbados. Mama V, let me ask you this. If you said...
Even though we don't have enough for every patient, our facilities simply can't take in all.
Is that what it is?
I think that's what it is.
So, like, there's no room in Ridge Hospital for more nurses. There's no room at Kolibu for more nurses. There's no room at compounds. And there's no room at the hospitals that we haven't even opened for more nurses.
Hey, see, those ones haven't been opened. Like those ones are
but
still.
Even before we man those,
but I think we have,
still have
I think
enough
we
to
have
export.
enough for. I think we've produced a lot.
If you heard during Doomsaw that we were supplying power to Burkina Faso,
we were.
what would you?
I think we shared power at some point.
Not during Doomsaw.
Yeah.
No, not during Doomsaw. I think we can't generate enough for ourselves. So which one were we supplying to them?
Some country be that we were like once in a while we would give power to.
Yeah, when we have excess capacity.
Not when we're shedding.
Generation. But when you are shedding, how can you?
I thought we're shedding with them. Honestly, I think we produce a whole lot. Because
we have excess
there are a lot of nurses who say they don't have jobs.
That's true, but it's not because we don't need them.
Well, but we don't have the space for them.
Is that what it is?
And if they
or maybe rather we don't have the money to pay them.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
Part of it.
We don't have the money to pay them.
Barbados to pay them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why not?
And I guess also because it's Barbados, like some people really don't know what to expect. But because it's not Ghana, I am willing to go. So once you go and then you see the conditions, then you'll probably come back and tell your people if it is good or not.
There's another one coming up soon. I heard some talk of Germans wanting nurses from Ghana as well.
As for Germany, yeah.
I know the But you know, even the UK is advertising for skilled migration.
I think because of Brexit, it's very difficult for people to make up their minds about the UK because you really don't know how it's going to be like, and if they're going to be cut off in terms of freely moving around Europe, then people are a bit cautious.
Yeah, I don't think they will. I think the UK still, the UK passport will still get you into European countries. It's just that most European passports will not get you into the UK. You know, it's going to be funny. It's going to be funny, actually. I want to see how the deal ends up and to see whether they will still have the same freedom across the continent as before.
I see that people are moving towards Canada. People are more comfortable with Canada now than the UK.
They've been very embracing of, like asylum seekers and so forth. So can understand the attraction. But Charlie, domestic abuse against men is up by 20%.
Yeah, and I'm saying that these are just a percentage of the men who actually went forward to report.
That's right.
Yeah, there'll be a lot more than this. I mean, would you?
Would I report it
if you were experiencing something like that?
I've actually been, what's the word I'm looking
abused?
for?
That would verbally abused?
Because I was subjected to violence by a woman.
You reported?
I did not report it.
Why not?
I handled the situation in the end, but
It's like men are able to handle it. Like,
I don't know if I was able to handle it because I'm a man. I mean, I couldn't physically hit her. I can't do that. So
isn't that why you should have reported? Because see, if a woman wants to make an allegation against you or put you in trouble,
you don't even have to do it sometimes. You'll still be reported.
Exactly.
Again, another thing I've been a victim of.
So if you report, then you know that report will be there. Like, okay, yeah, you mentioned it, and if she came back, she came to say you had touched it, then they'll say no, but he came forward, and you know, at least blah blah blah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, in the end, it didn't turn out that way, but I still have the effects of that.
Physical?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I broke a finger. This finger was bent that way.
But, you know, domestic abuse is not just physical.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I wonder what sort of domestic abuse is up by 20%, whether it's physical or whether there are some emotional ones in there as well. But you are absolutely right. It's not just physical abuse. And, you know, the effects can be lasting, whether it's physical or emotional.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's easy for people to laugh when
it's a man says,
which is so unfortunate. But it's easy. It's like the instant reaction of most people when they hear that, oh, this man says that he's been
I've heard some people say that even the place where you lodge the complaints, people laugh at you.
They laugh at you there.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Imagine that. I wonder, but every time it starts to look like there's a need for a conversation, somebody comes and reminds us that women are far more in terms of victims and numbers.
Yeah, but it still shouldn't stop us from talking about, even if this is a small percentage of 20.
I'm happy to hear you say that, Mama V, but very often when I've tried to say that, I've received backlash.
I mean, it
you know that
be.
So it happens to you, but most of the perpetrators are men. Almost as if that means that those who get victimized, the men who get
like
victimized,
you
deserve it. You know?
Yeah, absolutely not. I disagree with that. Yeah. So essentially, what we are saying, if you feel abused and if you're a man, you should go ahead and make a complaint. Let's do myjoyonline.com, and we're also saying women should not abuse men. All right, this is what we have on our page. NADMO records 5 casualties after violent wind hits Somanya. This happened on Monday. This was a windstorm. Hey, Charlie, we're suffering from the rains and the wind.
The wind
the
is
sunlight,
also doing its,
like
its
everything is not working. Everything is like working against us, kind of. Shall we move on quickly? Akwemohene intervenes to get the stewed Kwewu chief reinstated.
That's a nice show of traditional authority there.
They're all in the eastern region, right?
Yes.
Kwewu and
a lot of the Akan kings derive some lineage from the Akwemu kingdom. Kwewu is one of those. So I guess there is some relationship there.
So Nana Efa Penamine III, who was recently bestowed by the Kwewu paramount chief, that Sebre Ekuyamwa Ejipon II has been reinstated. I guess because of that intervention.
Yeah.
All right. Government has no agenda against Domalovo. According to Deputy Information Minister, also on our page. There are some photos. I asked the North Assembly to cut down disturbing coconut trees. Which one is, where is this exactly? I also North. Disturbing coconut trees? Oh. Are we really sure they're disturbing?
I wonder what it means. I'd love to hear.
Okay, this is around Mamobi.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to go around there and see the trees.
It doesn't even say it's become a source for Mamobi residents. A source of what? Of coconuts?
Maybe the details if we open it up. So if you're watching, you can go to myjoyonline.com and learn more about this. MPP group would petition government to impeach Domalovo in coming days, NDC alleges. Also, GRA Cocoa Board sued over VAT. SNIT accused of cheating in past credits computation. And they say if your money goes to SNIT, you should be concerned. Yep.
That means all of us.
All of us. You know. Iyoko versus Auditor General. Conduct of Iyoko unacceptable according to Siedun Ketia. Sadly, it's become an NDC NPP matter.
Once again,
and
which means we'll get nowhere with it.
Who is not NDC or NPP. Many more stories on myjoyonline.com. Kindly make time, go and explore. We had a crossover and bring you sports. Benedict is on standby. Good morning to you, Benedict.
Good morning, Mawadi and Uju. How are you guys?
Not bad.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
All right, so this morning we're talking the UEFA Champions League. No, Jose Mourinho is back at